That is such a spooky laugh. Laugh, yeah. If you are scared of Trid, don't be. Don't be.
What was that?
It's not as spooky as we think it is. We are talking about
Who's
Trid.
that? Look.
And what are you doing?
Oh, the ghost of Trid is coming.
Ghost of Trid. We'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. My name is Barry Horvath, and this is Moving Forward TV.
Is that supposed to be scary? You sound like Mr. Ed, though.
Well, did I forget? I forgot. Your local market update.
Hi, everyone, and I am DeLynn Gaston. Thanks for joining us today. We are talking about the spookiness or non-spookiness of Trid. the ghost of Trid future.
Where did she come from? Who put her on there?
We have a special guest today. This is Cheryl Herney from Dynamic Title, and what are you looking for?
I know the ghost of Trid is here.
He's just kick him. Anyway, today's show we are talking about the closing side, the
DeLynn.
CD.
It's going to get you.
I'm not afraid of Trid. Nothing to be afraid about. We got this. Got this, right, Cher? We got it.
All this misnomer about Trid, all this fear.
That's right.
And you know what?
It's okay.
There's really nothing to be afraid of.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just one or two options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex, short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
So everybody is so afraid of this new Trid thing.
I know. And it's really not that bad.
And when you come down to it, there's really nothing to be afraid of, like we talked about. Right. So we're going to get the closing side perspective from Cheryl Herney from Dynamic Title, who is an expert on the closing side. But we want to rehash what we covered last week on Trid from the lending side.
Right. Just a real short synopsis of it anyway, because it is all starting. Yeah, it is all starting. Has already started.
Synopsis.
Stop. But it's really not that bad. A lot of the things we were already doing.
Yes,
we've been kind of prepared for this for a while. You know, so it's kind of like, okay, well, everyone's afraid of the whole 3-day thing. What triggers the 3-day things and what doesn't? And there's definitely some myths out there about what does and doesn't trigger the new 3-day review.
Yes. Let me give you the facts. Here's what's going to cause a delay. The only 3 items that are really going to cause a delay on your closing, outside of you're going to get 3 more days on your closing. Mm-hmm. That's a given right there. But if your APR changes by more than 1/8 on any fixed product, up, or a quarter on any arm, you will require a new 3 days from that point. If the lender goes in and goes, wah! And sticks a prepayment penalty in there, that's going to trigger it as well. You like that?
Wow. Sound like Karate Kid there.
Yeah. No, we go back. No, we're supposed to be spooky this week. And the other spooky thing is, if the loan program changes, like from an ARM to a fixed, that will trigger it also. And those are the only 3 things. Everything else is just garbage,
Fixed
okay?
to an
It's all a myth, okay? What do you got?
Fixed to an arm, not arm to fix.
Well, okay, fixed to an arm. Thanks, the title girl corrected me. They knew what I meant. All right.
Now, the other the things that the myths and the scary stuff out there that it's not going to. So if in the closing, right before the closing, your walkthrough, something comes up, that's not going to. That might cause a delay because you maybe don't want to go through with the closing right now or something. But that's not going to require any kind of redisclosures. Or if something like the real estate taxes or the escrows or the utility prorations aren't accurate, or even the real estate commissions are not accurate, none of that is going to require a new disclosure or anything. Or if there's a typo. There's always typos, right?
Always.
If there's a typo or something like that in any of the loan documents, that is not going to require a new 3-day review. So it's not, honestly, guys, it's not anything different than, for the most part, that we've already been doing, other than we're adding 3 days at the end. We're getting rid of the good faith estimate and the till, the initial till up front, and we're getting rid of the HUD and the final till at closing, and they're converting into a single document on either side. And it's not that bad. It's a nice document. We all have discussed it and looked at it. We like it. We like it a lot.
It's much easier. It's more consumer friendly. It's definitely an easier way to go. It's almost like we're going to be doing refinances on every transaction, because remember, on a refinance, on the lending program, there's that 3-day right of rescission.
Right.
All we're doing is adding 3 days on. So if the loan originator does their job up front, doesn't screw up the rate, doesn't go in and change it from a fixed to an arm.
Why did you say does her job?
Because it's all
Does her job up front. Hang on a minute here.
because all of the men loan originators never make mistakes. It's usually the women. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. And if someone doesn't slide in a prepayment penalty, it's all good.
I haven't even seen any of those in years.
I know. When's the last time you saw a prepayment penalty?
I know.
And that's only on your hard money guys usually.
Right.
So
let's go on to the CD, the closing disclosure now, which is the title side. And it's been a little scary for the title people initially as well, right?
It has. It has a lot to learn, a lot of more input into the HUD.
you're way over there. I got to poke on something.
It's 5 pages. We just have to make sure that we just disclose what's on the loan estimate that the loan officers provide, the loan originators provide.
Right. So as long as everything is provided up front, and we know that the loan estimate, and we've done the loan estimate most times, because we do it up front, and then it's going to be done when the loan is locked, if it's not locked up front. And if there's any loan changes within, they're going to be another one. So you're going to get the final one that you're going to be preparing your closing disclosure with, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then what about if any of your fees change, like surveys or anything like that?
Well, our fees, again, they're all into a one system. A lot of lenders are using what they call Closing Insight, and that's where the figures are inputted. The lenders go in and that's what they use for their loan estimate. So hopefully all of the title companies are in Closing Insight to where the lender can just go in and grab those figures, because you're going to be bound by those figures.
So
Right.
Closing Insight is like a database per se for lenders to go in
Correct.
and say, these are the fees that are guaranteed by XYZ title company.
Correct.
And then that title company is going to be held accountable and hold true to those fees.
Correct.
So they're not going to change. So I think any title company that's not using that is probably going to be behind the curve. And of
Right.
course, there's probably a third-party company making money on this Loan Insight.
Of course.
course.
kinda
somebody
like-
is
Of
somewhere.
course.
Kind of like adding another layer to the appraisal order,
Right.
right? So,
Now, the only thing with the survey, as DeLynn was mentioning it, is if you didn't have a survey disclosed on the loan estimate. That's going to affect, my guess, is your APR.
Sure.
So that would be the only time we'd have to redisclose and redo your...
Now, what about, do you guys still have the, 5 years ago when they came out with the new good faith estimate and
that's
everything?
5 years ago already?
Yeah, I know. It was 2010.
Oh,
Remember? It
We
was,
were two- we were only 2
2010.
years
Everybody
older.
kind of like freaked out with the new good faith estimate that was coming out at that time. And everybody complained about that at that time. And this actually is the answer to it. But
So it took us 5 years to get here.
and it took them 7 years to come up with the CFPB to come up with a 1,000-page document to say from now on verify income. Really? But anyway, we're
Love
gonna
that role.
we're gonna get in a little bit more to that in just a minute. We need to take a break first.
Walk through life. Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let's take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way? 'Cause every day is a new day. And everything's going your way. And you wanna make it last forever. We'll keep it together, 'cause it keeps getting better. Whoa, whoa.
We're back with Cheryl Herney from Dynamic Title, who's teaching us about the new HUD.
No.
Whoa.
It's CD, closing disclosure.
Oh, see, there's no more HUD?
No more HUD.
Oh, so we can't ask for our HUD ahead of time?
No.
Or HUD ahead of time. No.
HUD ahead of time.
You can ask for your CD ahead of time.
And 3 days ahead of time.
Required.
So how
let's
many-
talk about
wait,
these. though.
Wait. How big is this new CD? Because is it going to pay
Well,
like
they
point-
say it's 5 pages,
Right.
but it's 6 if you have the addendum.
That's that new math.
Yeah.
That's the
That's-
core. That core thing that's going on around the
All right,
country.
So this CD, is it going
5 plus 1.
is it going to pay like 0.0001 like the banks do?
What?
We're
Not exactly sure what he's talking about.
CDs, certificate of deposit. Oh my gosh. you guys
okay.
are so
Sorry,
smart.
we're in closing disclosure mode.
I want to talk to somebody with a financial
financial
background on this show.
All right, so our
Keep up,
5/6 page CD closing disclosure.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, because the HUD used to be like 3 pages.
So how is this going to be different than the old HUD 1 settlement?
Well, the first page, the closing disclosure, the first page discloses your terms of your mortgage, your
Okay.
note.
So in other words,
Your
the
loan.
the loan term, the loan size,
nice little summary.
the interest rate, a summary of what we're doing.
Right,
Okay,
It's
correct.
a 30-year mortgage with a $1 million loan amount
Correct. Correct.
at a rate of 0.1, right?
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Absolutely.
That's a really
Moving
good rate.
on.
All right, moving on.
The second page is the closing cost, the actual cost of the loan broken down at closing, and then, if I may, the GFE, which is a loan estimate now,
Right.
discloses also on the HUD.
So
Okay.
that will
I'm sorry,
be-
closing disclosure.
So this will be the summary of all the lender charges,
So kind of like the
underwriting
old
fees.
page 2
Correct.
of the HUD.
Okay.
The old page 2.
No, actually, it would be the old page 3 of the HUD.
Page 3,
Because
okay.
page 3 has both the,
Oh, that's right.
the HUD estimates, or the,
The good
GFE
faith estimates
and
and
the
right,
HUD.
right.
So
Okay.
that would be page 3.
All right.
And then we have the third page, which summarizes the transactions, both buyers and seller side. However,
Uh-oh.
seller is not privy to this closing disclosure.
See, to me, this one looks like the old HUD. You know,
It
you've got
does.
your buyer side and your
It
seller
does.
side.
Can
It
we just
definitely
use
looks
that
a little
one?
more like it.
Can we just
Unfortunately
use that?
not.
But I thought that part was interesting too. The sellers do not see this.
They do not see any part of the closing disclosure. Sellers
really?
have their own disclosure
That
with
makes sense,
no
though,
buyer
because
information.
why would the seller need to see the terms of the loan, personal information?
Of the buyers.
Of the buyer.
I know.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
doesn't.
I always
It's
wondered
not their
that.
business. I always
Wait a minute.
thought that. Yeah, it's
Are we
none of their
doing
business how
something
much
in the
of a loan
industry
you're
that
taking.
makes sense?
I know.
I'm just wondering.
Which I think is why a lot of title companies sometimes would have the sellers sometimes sit outside in another room while they did just the loan paperwork and things like that.
I think it's because the buyers and sellers are fighting
yeah, that
over
that
the
happens
dishwasher they
too.
removed last week
I
that
know.
they weren't supposed to.
But Cheryl, this adds more work to the title companies, correct? Because now you are also doing not only this closing disclosure for the buyers, but you have to do separate
For the sellers.
similar
Correct.
HUD kind of a thing for the
Correct.
sellers.
Hey,
Correct.
use that word.
I know,
HUD.
I'm using that word.
Correct.
No HUD.
No more. Take that out of the vocabulary.
Correct. But, and the good thing about that is, well, not good. We also have to do
Not good.
what will look like a short form HUD. But it's, the escrow settlement statement's what it's
Oh,
called
look at
now.
that one. We need to get
which
that up,
it
too.
breaks all the fees down that shows the title company how.
I'm not on the screen.
It shows how the title company is going to disperse, cut the checks, and everything like that. So this is what both parties will sign. The 2-page
Okay.
escrow settlement statement. This is what will be signed
Does
at the table.
Okay, so this one's going to be, so they are still going to see everything.
Well, they're
Well,
going to
it
see the
does not-
fees, not
okay, so
everything.
it doesn't see the loan amount or
Nope.
the interest rate that the
No,
person got
the
or
only
anything
thing
like that.
are what the fees are.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
And both will sign that. Now that does the closing disclosure buyer sign that as well?
Only the buyer.
Only the buyer signs that. And that's it.
Nobody will have this information but the loan officers and the buyers. So, realtors, if you want to see this information, you have to get, or we have to get a authorization to release this information to you.
And that you need from them numbers, license numbers, and things like that
I do.
before you're allowed to release any of that. Which
And
brings
not
us to what?
even.
Page 4.
Not even. That doesn't
What
even
are we on?
allow
Page
me.
87 of the HUD
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, this
So wait a
brings
minute,
us to
let me-
page
hold on a minute.
5.
Let me get this straight. So the realtor is not going to be seeing the CD unless the permission is granted
Correct.
from
Correct.
Correct.
the seller and buyer?
No, just
Or
from the buyer.
Just from the buyer. Wow.
Not the selling
So the
agent
realtors
and
are
not
going
the
to be
buyer's
screaming
agent.
at you for abiding by the law. I can hear it now.
Right.
I need
I
to
can
see a
send
copy of
them
that.
an escrow statement, but
Right.
not the seller's, not
Now,
the closing disclosure.
On the closing disclosure, is the realtor's commissions breakdown broken down on
Everything
there?
on here, it is. It's
Okay.
The commission is
So that is
broken
the one they're
down
gonna wanna
on the
Because the
on the
seller,
closing disclosure.
But you cannot
even though
share
the
any
closing
of this.
disclosure is really for the buyer and the buyer doesn't pay the real estate commission, the seller does. So isn't that kind of interesting? But yet this is where that seller cost is
So-
shown. So both agents are going to want a copy of this,
Right,
the CD, as opposed to this.
right.
Well, this actually, I'm looking at this. There is no commission on the seller's on this closing disclosure. No
But it's not-
commission.
But it's on this one though, huh?
It's only on. Look, I'm actually learning myself. The escrow settlement statement is what the sellers can get. I mean, the agents. That's it.
That's what the agents get. Okay,
This is what
good,
the
good, good,
agents
good.
get if they want to see something.
And again,
with
but you
your
still have
commission.
to have
Only
all of
with
their license
permission.
numbers.
Okay.
No,
and-
the escrow settlement statement doesn't have to be permission.
And then you, as the title company, are the one responsible for making sure that the buyer got their documents
Correct.
3 days prior.
Correct.
And if it's sent snail mail, so electronic disclosure is going to be the key now because it'll further delay. It will actually be assumed it's an additional 3 days.
Actually, that
they
only
got it
replies with the
mail.
loan estimate. With the closing disclosure, we send it out to the loan officer or originator and the sellers,
Okay.
or I'm sorry, the buyers. And we have the option whether it was emailed or personal, hand delivered, they came in and got it. Our 3 days start from that day.
From the date you actually
From the date that
issue
I
it.
issued it, yes.
So that is your responsibility
Correct.
as a closing agent.
Correct.
To
make
prove
sure
that you
it's
issued
handled.
it on this date.
Correct.
Okay.
And then
Correct.
you just count 3 days from that time frame, and that's when
Correct.
they can
So-
close.
That's the consummation occurs.
Oh.
It's not called the closing anymore. It's called the
consummation.
consummation.
Sounds like a honeymoon to me.
I know, doesn't it?
All right.
Now, the other important thing for realtors to know also is up front, they're going to have to disclose addresses, in MLS numbers for loan officers, loan originators, telephone numbers, emails, and the license agents have to produce their license numbers, the Florida license numbers. They have to be on the closing disclosure.
All of that is
So
on there
just
now
like
too.
2010, when the licenses came into play,
Right.
and they're tied to a loan, now the real estate professionals number are also going to be tied to a file.
So we all have to
Interesting.
play nice because everybody will have the
Interesting.
information
It is
that they
interesting.
need.
Wow.
And you know, Barry, like we were saying, you know what? It's almost 2010 all over again. New forms, a new way of doing things, that
New
kind of thing.
software.
It's going to be, quite frankly, guys, I think the biggest thing that we can say is just set the proper expectations with your buyers and set the proper expectations with your sellers in particular, because your sellers who are selling a house, they've owned a house for a long time. None of this they didn't have to go through any of this in most cases, years ago. So we just need everyone to know, expect delays. Just expect delays. At first, just like 5 years ago with the new good faith estimate, there are going to be mistakes that happen. There are going to be things, and they changed it. Remember when the new good faith came out, it was like, well, do we sign it? Do we not have them sign it? Do we have them initial it? Do we not have them initial it? And the government kind of changed things around a couple of times during that whole time. So please be patient. Just, we're all learning this together. The entire country is learning this together. It is a national thing. It's not just one company or one state. So just be patient and expect delays. And the most important thing is set the proper expectations with your buyers and especially with your sellers that it could change again.
Well said, DeLynn. We'll be back right after this.
Ever need a doctor after hours? Well, searching won't help. But what do? You could go to the urgent care or ER, but if only there was a better way. Introducing the MNO Plus card. No waiting rooms, no copay, no consultation fee, giving you 24/7 access to a doctor by phone or online. It's easy to get started with affordable plans starting at $15 a month for a family of 5. For more information, visit mnoplus.com today.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just one or two options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex, short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
Okay, let's summarize on all this. The ghost of Trid is going to leave us now, okay? Now, I mean, there's got to be, let's look at the silver lining in this. There is some good news in all this, isn't there, Cheryl?
There is, and we as title companies, I think like this part. Once the closing disclosure has been sent out to the borrowers, to the loan officers, we can actually set a closing date.
Right. And everybody knows ahead of time.
On the 4th day, we're going to close at this time. Everybody knows.
Right.
Buyer will have their funds way ahead of time and not at the last minute and sitting
Right.
at the bank waiting for numbers.
Right.
Yeah, no rushing
Hurry
anymore.
up. Can we close later?
And
Can we
of course, the 3 days is assuming that they did it electronically. Remember, if you have someone that wants to do snail mail, it's going to be a minimum 3 additional days on top of it. So it could be 6 days additional if they're going to do snail mail and opt out of the electronic disclosure. So,
And it is done. We have to keep in mind, somebody said, which I thought was excellent, we have to keep in mind that all of this was done to protect the consumer. So it really is no more of these quick slam, slam, slam. And when people are sitting there saying, well, what can we do to waive it? What can we do to rush it? No, the government intentionally did this to slow it down. That was the whole thing about it. It is to protect the consumer and slow it down and give them a chance to understand fully what they're getting themselves into in
Excellent.
buying a house.
some great information all right here.
I
for
know.
you. And let's talk about our upcoming events. And you know, the one thing I want to talk about is just say thank you to everyone.
I know, I was just gonna say
who
that.
supported Bowling for Boobs, our fundraiser for the American Cancer Society. What a great, phenomenal event. We had record turnout. We had phenomenal food. Thank you, Jen DeVita.
I know.
Really a great great event
And the West
community.
Pasco Business Association really did a great job of pulling the whole thing
It was
together.
great. It was so much fun to see people get out there in their bras. My bra lit up. I should have wore it today. Huh?
I know.
I was
that
thinking
would have
that,
been good.
but there was nothing.
It's in the car.
Yeah. Hey, look, there's nothing scary about seeing me in a light up bra, okay?
The pictures are all over Facebook. You have to go and check them out.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure there's
really,
lots
really,
of pictures
really,
on
really
Facebook.
good.
But we do want to say thank you to the entire community to come out and support that. And next year we're going to do it again. So dedefinitely get your lanes early because it's sold out quick.
Yeah.
And we had people standing
What are we
around
gonna call
wanting
it
to
next
get
year?
in.
3 boobs? Because it was bowling for boobs too. Be
Bowling
3
for boobs
No,
3.
it'd be boob 3.
Boob 3.
Boob 3. All right.
Third boobs.
Yeah, something like that. We'll figure that out. We got time. We got other things coming up right now too. So we got Grinch Fest coming up.
Which is the kickoff to the Grinch season. And we have our big Grinch event on December 11th that is coming up, which is another fundraiser that the West Pasco Business Association does in the community to help raise funds for families in need at the holidays. Grinch Fest is a kickoff for that, which is a concert
Yes.
on October 11th.
Yes.
Yay.
At Plato Academy Hall.
And
That's in
starring,
Clearwater.
not him,
Not me.
starring
Starring.
Joel Vera.
Thank you. The national touring artist Jewel Vera will be the headlining act, and we have a couple other acts with it.
Right.
We have vendor spots available for that if you want to have a table and show your merchandise, or if you want to be an event sponsor. It's only $100. Tickets for adults are $20. Students are $10. Go online at www.wpba.biz and get your tickets today. What else we got coming up? Right after that, we got, of course,
a break. No. A nap.
we got an app.
You got your own
for the
personal
month-
things,
for the-
Thanksgiving and
Yeah, we got
Christmas.
Thanksgiving, and then we got, of course, we're going to be in charge of River Lights Boat Parade this year.
Oh, that's
for the
right.
city of
Which is
Newport
the week
Richey.
before the Grinch, right? So that's
Yes,
December 6th, I believe.
December 6th, and then we have the actual Grinch event, which is
December
December
11th.
And then
That's a
we're-
very good day, by the way.
Yeah,
Look, they're both
White
looking.
side.
Neither one of them remember it's my birthday.
it's her birthday. Yeah, we're going to have the Grinch wearing a birthday hat for you, okay? We'll blow out candles. And then we're going to be involved, of course, with Winterfest, which is the old fall festival, the following day, which is December 12th.
And I hear they're going to have snow.
Yeah, it's
Snow.
gonna be great. So
Winterfest. And that's
we
going to
got
be
some-
December 12th.
Yes.
In
At
Florida.
the YMCA in Florida.
In
At
Florida.
the YMCA off Trinity Boulevard, right?
Yep.
Everyone is invited. We have a lot of good stuff coming up. We have all of this stuff on our website, and if you guys want any more information, just email Barry. he's like our social chair over there.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, the
Reach out to him on
YMCA is off
Facebook.
of Mitchell Ranch
Sorry,
Boulevard.
okay.
Nobody
You're
try to
right.
drive off Trinity Boulevard trying to find the YMCA.
Yeah,
Ain't
well,
not
we'll get to
happening.
that. We got time for that. Right now, it's all about Grinch Fest,
Grinch
that
Fest.
concert kickoff. It's going to
Okay.
be phenomenal. So thank you, Cheryl, for joining us this
You're
week.
welcome. Thanks for having me.
And giving us your enlightenment.
Insight, I know.
On the new CD that
We
doesn't pay anything.
got this. We don't have to worry, guys. We got this. It's all
Actually,
it's all
if you
good.
think about it, the closing disclosure does pay you.
It does.
Gosh, only a woman. You guys will get more shoes because of the closing disclosure. I can see it now.
That's not bad.
All right, so get our show out there on social media. Share us, like us. We're on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Snapchat.
all that fun stuff.
We're not on Snapchat, but I
Thanks for
am.
watching, everyone. We are today and every day moving forward. We'll see everybody next week. Bye-bye.